Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talks Spurs, and today we're going to be answering the question why Brennan Johnson transforms Tottenham Hotspur. But before we get into this one, if you are new on the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for every time I go live. As I say, I'm closing in on 1,000 subscribers and would love you to join me on my Tottenham Hotspur journey. Now, let's get into the video. So yeah, deadline day was donkeys ago now. We've had the international break that has gone. But we haven't seen our deadline day signing as of yet. And that is obviously the one and only, the Welsh Wizard, the Welsh wonder, Brennan Johnson. And today I wanted to just have a chat about, my predictions, my thoughts, and my, what I'm thinking about in the foreseeable, how Brennan Johnson is really going to take Tottenham, hopefully, to that next level and hopefully top four this season. But yeah, I just want to start with, obviously the signing itself. Very happy. At first I was a bit critical of it. I was a bit unsure. I was wondering whether there was better options out there. But I think at the end of the day, for the price, for a Premier League proven player who will offer us a lot, I think it's a good deal. I think he's a perfect Ange player. Ange wanted him. So, that is very important in itself as well. I've, this week, I don't know if you have seen it already, but if you haven't, go and watch after this. Ange Postecoglou did an interview on talkSPORT, where I work, and spoke to Jim White and Simon Jordan, and just everything he said was, what a guy, honestly, And so when I hear him say, I want this player, I want Brennan Johnson, I feel like you've got to listen to him. He's got that much experience and, he can coach a player to go to that next level. First, I want to talk about his time at Nottingham Forest. Obviously, usually he was deployed on the right wing or through the middle. And I think he linked up with players perfectly. I look at Morgan Gibbs-White is like our version of James Maddison. And then you got Taiwo, obviously the striker. He would be maybe the son of the operation or the Richarlison, depending on who we're playing in that position. And I've watched highlights of Brennan Johnson, and the way he, his key asset is pace. And apart from Son, we don't really have much pace in that forward line. And I'd say, controversially, Son is obviously no spring chicken anymore. His pace is going to go in one direction. But against Burnley, he showed he still has that, playing on the shoulder capability. But Brennan Johnson, I'm thinking, when Maddison gets on the ball and him running in behind, it would be perfect. And a lot of, when he's playing on the wing, he does this thing which is perfect for Ange ball, which is he'll go to the byline and cross it in towards the edge of the area. And that's where a lot of Ange's goals come from. The midfielders pouncing in because the attacker or the striker has pushed into the midfield. And you get that second, third ball chances. So I think that's what Brennan Johnson is going to offer perfectly when it comes to Tottenham. And I'm thinking of that transition from one team to another. The areas where obviously he needs to improve are probably his finishing. There was a couple of glorious goals he scored towards the end of last season. Absolutely, there was one on the volley. It was just low driven, fantastic. But obviously in a bigger team, you probably have to be a bit more consistent with your goals and assists. I think his numbers obviously were better than Richarlison, but I think apparently his goal to game was a bit squiff. So who knows? But I believe this Brennan Johnson is going to be I don't know, because Tottenham has this really good association with Welsh footballers. Ben Davies is still at the club. Obviously, Gareth Bale, I'm sure he was in his ear giving him a bit of advice around the transfer. But yeah, I'm really happy with the signing of Brennan Johnson. I just think he's just going to offer something that we haven't had for many a year. I'm looking back to our attack now. A lot of people say when we sign Bale back, a lot of people are like this Tottenham front three. And obviously, the gap and the chasm left by Harry Kane is huge, is massive. But, I think about the unit we had when it was Kane, Son, Dele and Eriksen. And I think we're getting a bit more of that vibe come back to the football club. I'm thinking of Maddison, I'm thinking of Son, I'm thinking of Brennan Johnson. I'm thinking of, Solomon, Kulusevski. There's so much option in that forward line to really wreak havoc on defences. And, people were talking the other day, when we used to play certain teams, lower down the league, and we'd just absolutely mop the floor with them. That's where I see, hopefully, Tottenham when we play certain teams, we'll just be able to brush them aside. The worry is against the bigger teams where, you know, these players who, you know, sometimes, you know, at stages last season, Son, you know, wasn't as confident in front of goal. Kulusevski the same. You know, Solomon only scored a few goals at Fulham. You know, these players have really got to, you know, get their shooting boots on and really, you know, prove to be the difference and game changers. But going back to Brennan Johnson, obviously, because that's who the video is about, I just hope and pray that, you know, he's given opportunities this season. I think he will. I'm not sure. I think to start, obviously, he'll be on the bench. You know, he has started the season with Nottingham Forest. He looked very good against Arsenal. I think he was very strong in that game. But then I was actually at the Nottingham Forest Chelsea game at Stamford Bridge because I'm not don't live too far away from there. And, you know, I watched how they play as well. And it's a lot of, you know, a lot of it does go through Morgan Gibbs-White and Langer was very good on the wing as well. They've got Hudson-Odoi. So I think, you know, they love a pacey winger at Nottingham Forest. And that's what we're getting. We're getting absolute raw pace. And it's what we need. Like, I just think sometimes when you're through on goal and you've got that electric pace, like there's a clip that's gone round of Brennan Johnson absolutely leaving someone in the dust. And that's what we've just, I keep saying it, we have lacked that for so many years. And it'll be so good to see it at this football club. I'm confident. I just hope he hits the ground running and gets opportunities, and I'll be happy. But there we have it. That's how I think, obviously, Brennan Johnson is going to transform Tottenham going forward. It's just all about the pace. Let me know, what are your predictions for him this season? How many goals and assists do you reckon he'll make? Do you reckon we'll see him very soon, or is he going to be a bench option for a couple of weeks? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as I said at the top of the video, if you are new around here, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for every time I go live. And I've been Sonny Talks Spurs, and I'll see you again very soon, and ciao.